This is a session on Erasmus Plus scholarships. So I think you have graduation from Pakistan. It's again good to be cosmopolitan. Mostly we live in, a very congested world. Whole of our life we live in a one town or in a one country. It's better to see the world. And Erasmus Plus has, a model in which they think we have to break the borders. So what they do, they offer degree in more than one countries. At least during your degree, you have to travel to 2 countries. And they are basically, encouraging breaking the borders. And other philosophy of Erasmus Plus is they are also, trying to converge in the domains. They are breaking the borders of the domains. So mostly degrees are for interdisciplinary. So if you are looking for something in computer science, maybe you will not find it. If you're looking something for business administration, maybe you will not find it. So you have to think in a perspective, you have to find a degree which is interdisciplinary. Any student from business, he can find a degree, law and economics. Okay, any student from computer science, he may find a degree in big data analytics. So now it's more like a diverse degree. So 2 things are very common about Erasmus Plus. They allow you to roam around the Europe, okay, and that's part of this program. So at least you have to go to 3 universities, 2 different countries to earn your degree, and you have to basically do a multidisciplinary study. So after giving this brief overview, what I need to tell you, agenda for today is we will introduce Erasmus Plus, and then we will talk about EMJM and how we can apply for EMJM and few other steps which we need to carry out. So this is a very brief presentation, but most of the time my students come to me and they ask, sir, come on, it's very difficult. This is a global competition and we are not going to win this scholarship. Ultimately, we are putting effort in a struggle, endure, where we are certainly sure we will not win. So I think this is kind of a demotivation. This should not be there. To start with some motivation, you see this chart? So this chart shows you the scholarships which are awarded to Pakistan, since 2004. So last 3 years has been very good for Pakistan. If you talk about 2020, 135 students won this scholarship from Pakistan. This is a global competition, and in this global competition, selection rate is 5 to 7%. And in 2022, Pakistan got 166 scholarships, and Pakistan was leading the world. So highest number of scholarships which are awarded to Pakistani students. So there is a huge hope. If you put effort, and if prepare an award-winning application, you can be among those who got this scholarship. First of all, we need to understand, there are 183 programs. So what we mean by this? There is EMJM Catalogue. Google is your friend. So what you have to do, you have to write a keyword that is called Erasmus Mundus Master Catalogue. So the first link you get is about Master Catalogue. Okay, so this is the first link. Here you can see 183 programs. So guys, believe me, whichever field you belong to, you will find one program related to your domain. So it means it's not like there's a central place where you have to apply for a scholarship in Fulbright. The application mechanism is central. You apply to Department of State. But Europe is different. They have delegated power to institutions, universities. So what they do, they initially call for proposal from institutions from consortium to offer master degree programs. And those consortium who win the award for offering master degree program, they are given opportunity to offer 5 intakes, 5 batches. So we have 183 consortiums. They can offer master degree programs in variety of domains, So what you have to do, you have not to apply to European Commission, but you have to apply to a consortium. So initially what you have to do, you have to look into the catalog and you have to find domain which is suitable with your prior study. For example, if you are from computer science, so there can be one domain called BDMA. So big data management and analytics. So this is one of the domains for computer science. As I already told you, for business students, there can be tourism management, there can be law and economics, and for engineering students, there can be something, a kind of a cozy. This is a program in color, spectrum, and imaging. I will give you examples of these programs. So you have to look for the programs in the catalog. Once you identify the programs in the catalog which you are eligible to apply, then you have to look into the details of their requirements. So it simply means that there's no central platform and there's no central deadline. So what you have to do, you have to look for each consortium, and each consortium has a separate deadline. Normally applications start by the end of October or in the beginning of October, and the deadlines go up to beginning of February or mid of February. So I'll tell you about this as well. So then there is a possibility you apply for a scholarship. There is also a possibility you apply on self-funded opportunity. If you are feeling you will not be able to win a scholarship, so you can be part of that consortium and self-finance. So the ultimate goal is you will be able to earn degree in multiple universities. So why they offer such scholarships? The only idea is to showcase world the education of Europe as well as the culture of Europe. In recent history, European Union and its integration is one of the success story which world cherish. So what we have to do, we have to apply for a master degree, and master degrees are up to 120 credits or up to 2 years. So these master degrees are awarded by a consortium. Either you get 2 separate degrees or you can get a joint degree from the consortium. Okay, you can get multiple degrees. So literally, when I did my PhD on Erasmus Mundus, I have 2 separate degrees and with 2 separate titles. One is in computer science from University of Luxembourg, and other degrees from the rest of the consortium, and that is in legal informatics. So you will get more than 1 degree. So scholarships fund your whole journey, and you get international exposure. It means your batch is not from one country. So if there are 15 to 20 students, everyone is from a different country. So it's a very international thing which you will learn during Erasmus. So during Erasmus, it's not only you will stay in Europe for your whole of studies. In these consortiums, there are some partners which are not from Europe. They are from other parts of the world. So in this stay of your Erasmus degree, maybe you choose a track where you can go to any other part of the world. In my program, I was supposed to go to NECTA, and NECTA is in Australia. So it means it's not limited. You will visit Europe only during this scholarship. If on your track there is some research organization industry which is out of Europe, so maybe you can during this scholarship visit that part of the world as well. So many people on Erasmus Mundus can go to US as well. So normally the batch is from 13 to 20 in each consortium, which are fully funded. So I think then you need to understand in this batch of 13 to 20, there are 2 categories of scholarships. There is a category 1 and then there is a category 2. Okay, category 1 is category A, and this is for non-Europeans. Only non-Europeans will apply in this category. And when we talk about category B, Europeans will apply in this category. So this is a global competition, yes, but there is segregation. You are competing with the rest of the world, not with the Europe. So Europe has a separate competition. Okay, Europeans are competing with each other in category B, and rest of the Europe is competing with each other in category A. So of course you are not part of Europe, so you will be competing in category A. And good news is there are always more scholarships in category A than category B. So there are less number of scholarships for Europeans, and there are more number of scholarships for non-Europeans. So this is, I think, good thing. Okay, in my program, when I was doing my doctorate, we had 8 scholarships for non-Europeans and only 3 scholarships were for Europeans. So I think this is good. So you are competing with the world, but not Europe, rest of the world. So how this fund your study? So it fund your study in a way if you are from a program country. When we talk about program country, this is a term which refers to European countries. And when we talk about partner countries, this refers to rest of the world. So you see 2 things over here, program country students and partner country students. So in case of a program country students, means European students. Okay, now we talk about partner country students, means people from Pakistan. So in this case, if you are winner, depending on the location, there are certain locations. For example, if you go to Scandinavia, then maybe you have more scholarship. And if you are in the south of Europe, in Italy, Spain, maybe you have a less scholarship. At least, wherever you are in Europe, you will get at least 1,000 euros. So it simply means that on average, each scholar will get 1,000 euros. Okay, so this is a monthly stipend. This is one thing. Then you have to go to different parts of Europe, means at least 2 countries, and you have to move at least to 3 different universities. So in that situation, what happens? They are going to give you a separate allowance that is called contribution toward installation cost. So this, for your degree, 2 years degree, you will get extra 1,000 euros. When you leave when you leave one university and you go to another university, you get some contribution to resettle. And apart from this, there is a travel contribution for those who are, non-European. That is from 2,000 to 3,000 euros per year. Means if you go to 2 or 3 different universities, of course, you have to, travel, and you have to take your staff with you. So for that, you have this 2 to 2,000 support. So it means if you calculate it, 4,000 nutshell without, excluding this per month stipend are there in the pocket. Okay, and the first amount is for the institution which is offering this degree to you. So that's not for the scholar. Okay, so rest of 3 amounts are for the scholar. So in 2 years degree, you will get 4,000 euros. Okay, and apart from 4,000 euro, 1,000 euro at least every month. So I think it's a good deal. Okay, how to apply? It's very simple. Explore the catalog. I already shown you. And the good thing is that this is not centralized, so you are not supposed to file a single application. What it means? It simply means you can file multiple applications. How many? 3. So in one intake, for example, this call of 2023, you can look for programs, and if you find more than 1 program are suitable for your background, so go ahead, file more applications. Okay, like Fulbright, in each intake you have to file a single application. You are competing once only. Here you have chance to compete thrice. You can file 3 applications. It means in each consortium you will be evaluated separate. I think you are not understanding what I'm trying to talk about. When I applied for Erasmus Mundus, I applied to 3 consortiums. First consortium was PhD in distributed computing. The second consortium was PhD in IT for BI, information technology for business intelligence. And third was PhD in law science and technology. So I qualified the application phase. There are 2 phases, try to understand. One is the application phase, and then there's an interview. So when you file application, you get reserved for the score of your application. And your score is, if it is more than 75, you are shortlisted for the interview. So I qualified for all 3 programs in application phase. So I was called for interview for all 3 programs. Believe me, I qualified for 1 program as an awardee, another program on waiting list, and the 3rd program I could not qualify. So means if I just applied for distributed computing, I was not able to qualify. And for, IT for BI, information technology for business intelligence, I was on waiting list. If somebody is going to leave a slot, then maybe I'm entertained depending on my number in the waiting list and depending on the region, because waiting list is separate for category A and category B. And for law science and technology, I qualified as in the merit list. So it simply means you are competing thrice in a single call. So this is good thing. So you just explore the catalog, find any 3 programs which are, making you eligible, your background matches with them, apply in those 3 programs. Okay, and then you have 3 chances. So what you have to do, you have to gather information. What are the requirements of these 3 programs? I will talk about these as well. And then depending on the requirement, prepare application. Okay, once you prepare application, get it reviewed by one of the experts, or review yourself. Okay, it's better to get it reviewed by one of the experts. It will enhance your chances if you have made some mistakes. Sometimes the mistakes we make, we cannot identify them. Others can identify. Okay, so get your application reviewed, submit your application, and be patient. Wait for the results. Not only you should be patient, but you should also be hopeful. Okay, what you get is what you perceive. If your perception is you're going to fail, certainly you will fail. And if you perceive you're going to succeed, you will succeed. So it's, power of positive thinking. So be positive. I'm not talking about blood group. I'm talking about your mental orientation. Okay, so if you are negative, you think, okay, there's no room for us in the world. Okay, fine, there's no room. go. What you have to do, hang some rope with the ceiling fan, and do what you want to do. Be positive. There is always room in the world, and there is the biggest room for there is the biggest room for improvement. So you will not find things perfect, but you should be positive and have a hope you will win. And I'm hopeful if you are putting effort in one of the consortiums, you will be able to win. So after this, what we have to do, 183 programs, as I told you, you have to explore them. Okay, we can do it here with you now. Okay, so for example, you can have these criteria. For example, you can set a keyword, country, credits, and depending on the domain. Okay, for example, we are interested in which domain? Okay, computer science. Okay. You have 61 options. Okay, applied cryptography, cybersecurity. So maybe we can go to the site of this program. Okay, it will give you the details, which are the universities they are offering this program, what you have to do, admission and application requirements. Okay, so you have to see here, what are the requirements, and you have to fulfill requirements accordingly, and you have to file an online application. You see that this is very important for you. So you can do this for all 163 programs. So you can finalize at least 3 programs in which you can apply. So what you have to do then, I can give you example of one program. This is COSI. So this is the one program in which these are full university partners. These are the industry partners. You see Meta is also industry partner for this program. And in this program, you see there is a track. So semester 1 you will spend in NTNU, and then you can spend semester 2 at 2 different universities. Depending on your track, you can either go to this university or you can either go to this university, and then semester 3 again 2 different universities, and the final semester is at certain university. So what I'm trying to tell you, your program will lead you. In the very first semester, everybody in the batch is in the one university, and in that semester they decide their tracks, and then they segregate into 2 different domains. They go to different universities. In my case, I started my PhD in University of Bologna. So under my track, I went to University of Turin, Autonomous di Barcelona, University of Luxembourg. My friends, they went to one university in Lithuania, okay, and then they went to Tilburg. So it means you have a separate track depending on your specialization. So this is one example. So what you have to do, you have to review these programs. So then what are the timings to apply for? I think already I told you, you can apply to 3 different programs in one intake, in one call. So what you have to see, deadline for each consortium. What is the deadline? And mostly deadlines are in January. And some of the consortiums also have deadlines in February. So you have to apply within deadlines, and once you applied within deadline, what happens, they evaluate your application out of 100 score. So if you get 75, you are basically selected for the interview. And then after interview, if you get 75, so those who have 150 score, they are actually shortlisted. And the top of the lot is given scholarships, and remaining are in reserve list. Okay, so those who are in reserve list, they have also option. If they are not qualifying into the merit list, they can go on self-funding. Okay, so ultimately, this process closes in March, selection, and then you get acceptance in April, and then you apply for the visas, and normally you move in September. And before you move to Europe, there is always pre-departure orientation, which is arranged by European delegation in Islamabad. So all those who are selected from Pakistan, they will meet in Islamabad, either in EU delegation residency, or they can meet in HEC, and they will offer them a pre-departure orientation where they will get information how to go and what are the basic things to do when you are traveling there. Okay, so ultimately, what are the important things which you need to prepare? The very first thing, you should have degree. And your degree and your CGPA is important. Okay. Nevertheless, if your professional experience is good and your CGPA is not good, that is again an advantage. So you should not be hopeless if your CGPA is not good. Okay. So your degree, your grades in the degree, and the recognition of your university are very important. And up to 45% marks are on this criteria. Then you have to design a CV. You cannot design any CV as we do. You know, our students design CVs. When I see these CVs, I see they are not a student from computer science, but they are a student from fine art. Okay, they are decorated. So there is one standard format for European CVs, and that is called Europass. So how you can design a Europass CV? It's very simple. Okay, so we can have a look. Okay, this is the site of a European Union, a European Commission. You can create your free account over there, and then you can design your CV, and you can also, get some cloud space where you can put your all credentials, your certificates, and everything. And this is free of cost. Okay, so you have to design CV on Europass format. This is important. Then there are two terms. One is a statement of purpose or letter of motivation. So this is the same thing. So what you have to do, you have to design a statement of purpose or letter of motivation. And believe me, if you design one statement of purpose or letter of motivation for all three programs, you are not going to qualify. What you have to, they are not actually checking this three together, they are not checking this, but what you have to do, you have to design a specific statement of purpose for the program depending on the theme of the program. So it's not possible one statement of purpose which is designed for applied cybersecurity can fit for BDMA, Big Data Management and Analytics. Do you understand that? If you have designed a statement of purpose for tourism management and that does not fit to law and economics, so you have to design a specialized, motivation letter or statement of purpose. What is content of this statement of purpose? Initially, you have to align your prior qualification with the current degree you are applying for. Okay? And then, why you are, good candidate for this degree, you have to show from your educational qualification or professional experience. And if you are admitted to degree, what wonders you can do. You have to talk about in the middle and your achievements which you will get. And then you have to talk about how you can transform the society if you graduate from the program. And then there is always one important thing. You should show in that letter you are flexible, you can adapt with the environments, and you have interest in cross-cultural, things. So you are not rigid. You can accommodate in this cross-cultural settings, which is in Europe. Europe is a diverse society. It's a multicultural society. So you have to talk about all these things in your letter of motivation. And letter of motivation or a statement of purpose should be different for each program. And similarly, recommendation letters should be different for each program. If you're applying for cybersecurity, you should get recommendation letter from teacher who taught you cybersecurity. And you're applying from big data, management analytics, get letter from person who taught you data science or machine learning. Do you understand? So you have to design these documents separately for all three, consortiums. So specifically designed documents. And then there is an English proficiency certificate. One letter from university can suffice, but I will not recommend it. Normally, there is a 10% marks on this proficiency letter. If you get letter from Sakura IBA, your graduation was in English language, that is good, you're eligible. But you will not get 10 marks, which are on this English proficiency, or 15 marks, which are on this English proficiency. It's better to try IELTS or TOEFL. And if you're trying IELTS, at least you should have 6.5 or above. Okay, so this is one of the difficult requirements. Mostly people do not, go for IELTS. So I ask you, when you graduate, do IELTS in a very, beginning. It will be there for you when you're applying to any international university for 2 years. So it's better to have IELTS with a 6.5 band or higher, and then cover letter. For each consortium, when you're applying, you have to design a cover letter separate for that. So these are some of the requirements which are always there, and there's a document link is there. So this will help you how to prepare an award-winning application. Then we have other links as well, which can guide you how to prepare, award-winning application and what are the requirements for EMJM. Thank you very much for bearing with me.